I received a question. It's one of my favorite questions as well. It's how do people unknowingly oppress others? So that is a real dilemma. Understanding how that happens has to do with systems, specifically systems of oppression. One of the characteristics of those systems is that they're designed to not be seen by people who are part of the dominant or normative culture. They're just seen as normal, typical, and standard. And so these unknowingly offending moments for people who have been marginalized create disconnection. They're often also too experienced as microaggressions. An example of this comes from my own history of working that has to do with norms about what in people's personal lives gets celebrated or acknowledged at work. I was working in an all-female identified environment, so part of that organization's norms of what was celebrated was birthdays, births, and engagements. Yet impact was being generated for those staff who either would choose not to get married or choose or could not have children. So imagine you have two people who've been working in an organization for 7 years. And the first staff member, who may identify as straight, white woman, has been celebrated because in that time she has been engaged and had two children, plus she's had her birthday each of those years. And another staff person who may be in a less traditional or normative relationship, who will not marry and will not have children, is celebrated only for the birthdays. So that can really generate impact. It can bring up questions of belonging, and that person may have an experience of oppression, which has further impacts because it can interfere with how that person sees themselves as being valued in the organization. So once you unpack what looks like a benign practice and see it through the layers of understanding that diverse perspective brings, we can then use new awareness to reimagine what might be different or find ways to inquire with care when we have unknowingly caused distress. Thanks for the question.